balls, beer cans, southern draws, Dodge Rams, duck calls, hot dams, recalls, sweet yeah, big trucks, big guns, Fox News, reruns, six ducks, maximum, Bud Light, platinum, helping save the planet so my beer cans flatten them. Thick fog, six dogs, quick frogs, big logs. Never read the Constitution, but I read a ton of hit blogs. Yes, I do every single day. I like country toys, mudding and going on runs. Well, the Lord is my shepherd and I'm his son. With my old dirt gun. With my old dirt gun. With my old dirt gun. Okay. With my old dirt gun. I'm a country boy, just trying to have... Well, I know there's nobody in here right now. It sucks getting your TikTok banned. I had my TikTok banned twice now, permanently. The first account had like 100,000 followers. The second account had, I don't know, like 20,000 followers. And they were just both banned for like, I can't think of any good reason other than people who disagree with me ideologically, and they just mass report. And so now I'm on this third account that I forgot I had, and maybe the third time's the charm. We'll see. We'll see. And what's kind of crazy though is I just went live a few minutes ago, and right as I started getting a couple viewers, they took my live down. There was like no reason, but they took my live down. And all right, I appealed it, and they gave it back within like 3 minutes. Hey, what's up, Just Me and Diana? Thank you for joining the live stream. I was just in here by myself talking to no one, so I'm glad you guys joined. So yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get some Republicans to just sort of come in here and, you know, just talk to me. Does that make it better? I don't know if you guys can comment. I'm just trying to... Can you read what's on my hat with the right direction now, or is it now backwards? That's what I'm wondering. But yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get some like Republicans to join. And I'm not talking about just like MAGA or Trump people, but I know, what's up, Willie Brown? I know that there's a lot of like Republicans that I believe don't really actually support a lot of what's going on with the Trump administration. And I know there's like a lot of these debaters that will specifically talk to, you know, only hardcore MAGA people. And you know, I grew up in Shasta County, California. It's a red county in California. And so I've already been able to make relationships as a Democrat, as someone on the left, and be able to become friends with like a lot of Republicans, like actual Republicans. I have a lot of Republican friends who can't stand Donald Trump. And so instead of just like trying to dunk on MAGA supporters, the goal with this stream is I'm just trying to see if, you know, some Republicans will join into the chat, maybe come on the stream and just, you know, like talk to me. Like, just, you don't need to identify yourself. I just need to verify like age, you know, and that's just through a series of questions. But I just want to like talk on a real level, not just like hardcore debating, trying really hard to be right. I just want to get the opinions of Republicans that are not necessarily hardcore Trump supporters and be able to talk with them. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm just waiting for anybody to join in. What's up, Gabe? What's up, Marie Razasia? That's how you say it. What's up, Charlie? Thank you guys for joining. I'm sorry there's like this glare on this side, I guess. I need to do something about all the light coming in that window, I guess. Maybe I can move my camera or something. It's like pretty... it's like two windows now. I don't know. I don't know. I need to do something to deal with that window in the back, or just like stream at nighttime or something. But anyways, yeah. What's up, JW Chevy 14? You got a truck profile picture. Are you a Republican? Are you a Republican that maybe wants to have a civilized conversation with a Democrat? You know, I'm an ex-U.S. Air Force veteran. I'm, you know, not one. I'm not extreme to another side, even though I'm a leftist and a Democrat. What's up, Merle Cox 317? I think a lot of people are just clicking in and leaving. They're probably like, ugh, this light thing is ridiculous. Maybe I can move this. Let's see what this does. See if it makes it worse or better. It might be worse. It's just too bright. It's too bright right now. What's up, Jacob, Patricia, Thomas, Raymond? How's it going? So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of repeat some of the stuff I've already said because new people are joining. I'm just looking to debate, not really debate, but just more like have a civilized conversation with people who are Republican, you know, not necessarily hardcore Trump supporters, but just people who are willing to talk to me about what's going on in America right now, you know, not necessarily skewed to one side, but how it affects us, how it affects we the people, how I believe certain things that are happening right now are unconstitutional. And I think, you know, not everything just has to be a dunk on debate with, you know, you're just proven wrong and you're humiliated. Like, it's just, I think people could like talk a little better, you know. What's up, Chapel Hill Sean, Rylan Calderon? How's it going, Stomps013, Dave? Yeah, just looking for anybody that is a Republican, doesn't have to be a Trump supporter, but is a Republican and wants to just conversate with me about what's going on in the country. You know, I think if we could get more conversations going like this between people on opposing sides, that we, you know, maybe we could get a little further. And I don't know. I've been fighting against, you know, a lot of MAGA stuff in my hometown for a very long time. Like, you can just straight up Google me. You can Google Nathan Blaze, Shasta County, and a ton of articles will come up. I've been written about in a book. I'm on the front page of many newspapers here in our town. I'm a local activist, and I've done a lot that's very, very, like, very hard left. But then, you know, I've gotten to the point where it's like, how long is that sustainable? And I've also learned that not all the Republicans are the same thing as MAGA people, and you can actually talk to some of them. So I'm just, like I said, I'm hoping to maybe if people could, can people even request to join the live? Do I have it set up? What's up, Salty11, Esther, Koi Cow, I don't know, Tips and Tricks, Caden, Slick Mix 777, Odijah CF81. Thank you for joining. Can people even join? How do I? I can't even do that yet. All right. Apparently I can't do that yet. So it says I need to go live for 30 minutes to unlock guests joining. And then I have to go live on 3 separate days, and today's 1 out of 3. So I won't be able to go live till probably Sunday and actually get people to join. I didn't know that. That was very boomerish of me. I didn't know that. I was used to my old accounts that had like 100,000 followers, and I didn't have to deal with any of this. And then those accounts all got banned by people mass reporting because they don't like the words I say. What's up, Cosmo, Annabelle Garcia? You're back. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know. This account already. Thank you for the ice cream from Lisa. That's my wife. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've been really silenced a lot lately. They took away a lot of my social media, and this is like my 3rd attempt at TikTok. And like, what's crazy is this account doesn't hardly have anything on it. And the first time I tried to go live like 10 minutes ago, I was live for about 5 minutes, and I hadn't even talked to anybody yet, or even said really anything, and it like took the live down. It's like, your live access has been suspended, and I was like, what the fuck? And I appealed it and then gave it back in like 3 minutes, and I'm like, why is this so difficult to just talk to people without these platforms regulating our freedom of speech so damn hard? Are you fighting to get your other page? It's gone. My past two, my I am Nathan Blaze and my Welcome to Shasta County accounts, they're gone. I mean, those accounts had like millions of views. You know, I was doing pretty well on those. And then just all of a sudden I wake up one morning and they're like, your account's been permanently suspended. And it doesn't even give a reason. It just says community violation. There's not even, it's such a generic reason. So I don't understand that. But I'm going to try with this one. I'm actually, once I can get this account, which apparently requires 3 days of going live in a row, I didn't know that, and then allow people to be able to join in and like talk to me live. I'm looking to sort of create like a platform here where I can speak to Republicans and we can have live discussions. You know, you watch a lot of these, like, you know, these master debaters on like YouTube and stuff, and a lot of them are doing like really good. They're really intense. A lot of dunking on the people that they're debating, and I don't necessarily want that to be the vibe that I want to do. I want to actually have you know, discussions with, like, my only criteria would be that you're a Republican, you know. And yeah, Dean's great, Cosmo. Dean's great. Parker's great. Those are basically the two that I like to watch a lot. They're quite a bit younger than I am. You know, I'm 38 years old. They're like early 20s. I think Dean's even like just like 20, but they do a good job. They have a lot of information in their heads. Like those, I watch those kids debate, and I'm like, I mean, kids are not kids, they're adults, but I watch them debate, and I'm like, I think the kids are all right, you know, like this. They're doing stuff that I wasn't able to do at that age, and it's cool to see. Actually, I would like to see more young people, especially in this space, just going live and, you know, sharing information and valid information and being willing to talk to people on the right, and just get them to understand and see that you've been grifted, you know, you've been tricked, bamboozled. Trump told people on the right that he was going to do so many things. He told people on the right that Democrats have done so many things, and their feed of how they get information in the world has just been so confined to like this bubble, like the algorithms and everything. Like they don't actually see anything but what I would consider a lot of right-wing propaganda that they think is fact. And what we've learned is so much of that, if they're willing to allow it to happen, if they're not just in a permanent state of denial, you can refute a lot of this pretty simply just by having a conversation and pulling them out of that propaganda bubble that I think Donald Trump is and the people that surround him have created. So yeah, Parker's great. Cosmo, I wish I could articulate the way that they do. I know, it's crazy watching these young people just, I'm like, holy crap, I would never want to get into an argument with this guy. They're highly intelligent. Like, I think they're geniuses or something. They're really smart young men. And they figured out a new thing, a new niche that people, you know, really actually want to see happen. And I think it works so well. And like, you know, people like Destiny, you know, people have problems with Destiny. Destiny's not quite, I don't know, he says some things that it's hard to get behind, but his ability to debate is, you know, it's amazing. And then I feel like, you know, Destiny was kind of the first one that I saw, and then you know, he uses certain language and like says the R word, and I don't think, you know, you're gonna ever really get to a point where you can reach as many people as you can if you're using language like that. But then, like, after Destiny, I started seeing like Dean and Parker, and it was like Harry and Chris, and I think there was some drama there. I don't fucking care. All I know is that it's a cool thing that these young people are really just trying to take debating and bringing truth and countering so much disinformation to this public space. And I have no problem that these people get they get paid for it. Like Parker and Dean, they read off their donations, and then like the MAGA guest gets all mad and jealous because they're making money for doing this. And I'm like, good. You know what? It's hard to do stuff like that for free, and it's like they've been accused of being funded by some entity like George Soros or the DNC, and then that's when they read their donations, and then it's basically proving, no, I'm not funded by some political entity. It's people that like what they're seeing, and they're just donating to support me to keep doing it. And that's what that's what they do, and I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing this country needs, is young people speaking out, using their voices, and saying what they think things are and how they think things should be. So, yeah. Anyways, just I guess I can't. Yeah, it's grassroots logic. It's so annoying that I can't allow people to join the stream right now, because I guess this would be like my second stream, but you have to go live for 30 minutes, and then you have to do it 3 days in a row before they allow you to invite guests. That's another thing. I don't know how like Parker and Dean do it, right? Because they get their TikToks banned all the time, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna go. I think they just have like a set of accounts, and they have like followers and fans and their community members that just like create accounts and then like get them past the threshold of being able to invite viewers and stuff. I'm not sure. All I know is when I had my past accounts, when I had my account that had like 90,000, almost 100,000 followers, I didn't have any of this issue. I could just go live whenever I wanted and invite guests or anything like that. So am I unbanned now? Hey, what's up, Don? No, I'm not unbanned. I'm new here. See, I don't even know what all those things mean. The little thing that slides over. Nope, my stuff's all banned. My Facebook's still banned. My main 2 TikTok accounts that I had are still banned. I mean, I have all my content. I uploaded. I save like everything, so I have all my videos. So like, any haters that think that getting my accounts banned means that the content's gone, no, I have I don't know, 24 terabytes of storage. So it all still exists. I just have to repost it when I feel like it's the right time. The Facebook one was annoying though. I think honestly they just took Facebook away from me. I mean, if you look at Mark Zuckerberg, I believe that he is pretty much capitulated to the Trump administration, and I've been a thorn in the side of what MAGA people want to do in this area of California for a long time. I've had probably 20 different Facebook pages, groups, or accounts just banned, all not because I'm violating community standards, but people just mass reporting me. So Don says, so since I'm old, please enlighten me on how this works. Is it just a matter of time before what? Like before, oh, this account gets banned too? Probably. That's the truthful answer. Probably. So we'll see. I feel like you probably weren't in the stream yet when I said this, but I went live right before this live, and I was only live for about 2 minutes, and I didn't even talk to anybody yet, and the TikTok banned the live stream. It was like, this account, your live access has been suspended until August 21st or something, and I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even talk to anybody yet. I didn't even say words yet, and then I appealed it, and they gave it back. They were like, okay. I'm like, what are you guys just chomping at the bit to ban me? Like they're just like, we gotta ban him. Like, I didn't do anything yet. Wait for me to do something, okay? Wait for me to do something. Wait for there to be something reportable. Yeah, they really don't like that I have a voice. The ambiguous they really don't like that. So I have to be really careful with my language and what I say on here, because I think stepping on the slightest eggshell will be enough reason. So, yeah. The content on here is probably going to be a bit different than the type of content I've put out in the past or like that's still on my YouTube. You can go check my YouTube out, Nathan the Creator. A lot of my stuff is still up there. I have a SoundCloud for Nathan the Creator where I've made a bunch of music. Well, it's kind of like joke music, but I think people like it. Yeah, SoundCloud, Nathan the Creator. I have a Blue Sky account. I think you can search Nathan Blaze. Don says, that's so frustrating, we miss you. Yeah, it is very frustrating, and like I miss so many people too, because I really don't, like I talk to like everybody through Facebook, and they just took it away, and there was literally no reason. I hadn't had any posts banned or taken down due to community guidelines. Just opened Facebook one day, and it was right after, it was like the last post I had made. It was about the president of SEIU getting detained by ICE in Southern California. And I shared it, like a tweet about it, and was like, this is so messed up, or something like that. And that was like the last thing I posted on Facebook. And then like, I don't know, 2 hours later, I open Facebook, and it just, the screen slides over, and it's like, your account's been permanently disabled. No posts taken down, you know, and then I appealed it. They gave it back 6 days later, and that last post, the one about the SEIU, was still up. So that post wasn't even taken down, and I was given no reason for why my account was permanently disabled. And so I was like, okay, well, I got my account back. And my birthday had happened in between that time, but my wife did like a cool thing and shouted out my birthday and like, you know, showed me all the people's like birthday wishes and stuff, which was really nice. And I literally posted, thank you all for the birthday wishes, when I got back. And 2 minutes later, Facebook permanently disabled my account again. Yeah. No reason. No reason, just took it all away. And so I appealed it again. Another 6 days later, I get it back. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry we got this wrong. And then I forget what I'd posted, but it was basically nothing. It was like nothing, you know? And then like 5 minutes after I posted it, it slides over again, and it's like, your account has been permanently disabled. You can no longer review it. It's gone forever. There's nothing you can do. I don't get this. The glare behind you is competing with Dolo being told she's off topic. I know. I don't know what to do about that. I need something to... I don't know. There's nowhere I can put the camera that makes it better, too, because, like, there's a window there. Oh, actually, right there. Right there is probably better because there's less glare. Let's do that. Let's do it from this side. Okay. Let's try this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's a bit better. Cal4T1 says, thoughts on the St. Louis Blues 2019 Stanley Cup run? I have no idea. I don't know if that's a joke or a real question, but I don't really know anything about hockey outside of the movie Goon. I'm a football fan. What's up, Ann Onion? Cal4T1 says, just got the number 3 gifter badge. That's cool. Any thoughts on local stuff? That's a good question, Don. The hard part is it's been quite a bit more difficult for me to see what's going on locally here in like Redding or Shasta County, because I lost the ability to see what's going on. Like, Facebook is where most of this stuff goes down and the information comes out on. And they straight up canceled me from Facebook for literally no reason other than I would bet you this, with the impact that I've had on this county and the fact we've had prominent public figures in the GOP, like, for example, Kari Lake, and, saying that Shasta County, what happens in Shasta County will dictate what happens in the rest of the state. Like, Kari Lake said that. The involvement of, like, Mike Lindell in our county politics, which is wild. The whole Mesa pattern of fraud thing, and I don't even even say that, but it was like a thing that came from Mesa County, Colorado, with the whole Tina Peters thing, and I believe there was definitely strong connections between what happened with our voting systems here in our county and the whole Tina Peters thing, because, Patrick Jones was really harping on about that whole Mesa pattern of, I probably shouldn't say it, because I have no idea what TikTok's going to ban me for. Yeah, and so I really feel like a lot of what I was able to do, especially through Facebook, was able to get rid of Patrick Jones, and inform people. And at this point, I think because I've had millions and millions of views on my just local Shasta County content, and that has affected things, that I think someone somewhere in the Trump administration, I'm not even going to say like Trump himself, because he, it's probably just someone in his administration or something, talked to Facebook and were like, we got to get rid of this guy, get rid of him, take away his account. I was fully verified account too, an account in good standing. My account was monetized, and they just immediately forced 3 strikes, and I think that was their excuse. So like, oh, after the 3rd strike, you're gone. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You just don't want me to be able to use my voice to affect my own home. So that's what I believe happened. I think it's the same thing that happened when I used to have a Facebook page in town called Bethel Memes. And it was just memes about Bethel stuff that people around here, understood. And one day I woke up and there was no even warnings on that. There was like no warnings. Thank you for the roses, my wife, and thank you for the roses, Dawn. Thank you very much. That's cool. But I woke up one day and I went to go open my Bethel Memes page, and it was just gone. Like, it just literally said, this page doesn't exist. There were no warnings. There were no 3 strikes. And so I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure Bethel, with their influence and money, talked to somebody at Facebook and paid some money and got rid of my page. So yeah, it's really been difficult to talk about the sheer amount that my freedom of speech has been attacked behind the scenes, because I need those platforms to be able to tell people. So, this is me trying again. And like I said, what I want to do with this is, once I can invite guests onto the live and talk to them, I want to just sort of be able to have discussions with people, just like Republicans specifically, and kind of get a conversation going about how Republicans, not necessarily Trump supporters or MAGA people, but Republicans, just normal country Republicans that are actual Christians, because I know they exist. Not all Republicans is this MAGA nonsense. And I want to talk to those Republicans. That's the audience that I want to talk to, because I don't want to be here to just dunk on people and make them look, stupid on a live stream. I want to actually have conversation, even if that means me admitting that I'm wrong about something, I just want to have legitimate conversation. So once I've gone live for 3 days, I guess I'll be able to do that. All these ridiculous requirements. Why did we allow social media to do this to our freedom of speech? We gave the keys to our First Amendment to all these tech billionaires that own social media companies, and instead of abiding by the First Amendment, we have to abide by their rules. And I think it sucks. But yeah, like, I personally don't think that, I don't think anybody should be silenced, not even hateful people, and I'll explain that. I don't think the report button should allow content to be taken down unless it's content that legitimately breaks the law or specifically definitely harms someone, like doxing personal information or, like someone's private images or something. Like, I think there's definitely reasons, but I don't think people should just have the ability, because they don't like someone's opinions or their ideologies, to just get a bunch of their friends together or a bunch of their own fake accounts and just smash the report button over and over again to get someone silenced. I don't think that should happen, and I don't think it should happen to people on the right either, even the extreme right. And the reason I think that is because I want to know who the worst of us are. So, like, if someone is saying crazy, horrible, maybe bigoted things or, bad things, I want that to stay up so that people can know who that person's true colors is, or true colors are. And I just don't believe in, completely silencing people, even if I disagree with them, because then how can you know, who the people are around you if every time they, open their mouth or say something, they just get reported? Like, I want to know who, it's like we have the Megan's Law website and we can go on the little map and see which, PDFs live around us. That's kind of like we're taking that away from society by just banning people and reporting everything they say because we don't like it, and there's always the option of blocking or just not spending your time going and watching or listening to what someone you don't like has to say. And, people will literally go seek out things that they don't like. And honestly, I think people on the right, the far right, do this a lot more, because I can't tell you one time I've ever went and watched like a live stream of like Tim Pool or Charlie Kirk. I don't go search that stuff out to go like get angered by it. I just ignore it. It's like, these guys are ridiculous. They're full of crap. I don't even want to see it. But a lot of people on the far right will come search out liberal content, just to like build their hatred and be like, ugh, and it's like, ignore it. Why do people like that just search out stuff they know they're going to disagree with and then go report it for harassment and bullying, when they went to something they knew they were going to disagree with, and then they just go, well, this person needs to have their voice taken away? Like, I could name names locally of people who definitely do that. But yeah, Big J268 says all sides have their trolls. Yeah, that's true. There's definitely trolls across the board. I do legitimately believe, though, that in this time, in this moment, the far right has more. I think that, you watch these like young streamers like Dean or Parker. Why are all these MAGA people there for them to be able to debate with? What are they going there for? Why don't they just ignore them? No, these people seek out things to make them angry and stay in this mindset, and it's frustrating. I don't seek out things that I know are going to upset me. I don't do that, But, yeah. What's up, Angela M. Smith? Are you still barred from attending board meetings? Oh, I've never been barred from attending board meetings. No, I'm not barred from attending board meetings, Dawn. How do I say this? I just don't go right now because certain local residents have initiated court processes to essentially silence my ability to go speak at the board meetings. That's literally all I can say about it. One day when these court orders are no longer valid or expired, I will talk about all of that. I will make a probably hour-long YouTube video with every detail and every receipt on how everything about that happened. But right now I can't. But it'll happen. It'll happen one day. And steel trap. I don't forget goddamn anything. So something about mishearing your speeches. I'll be back to do speeches again. It's just lawfare, right? Remember that's something that people on the right, the far right, MAGA people were really screeching about Donald Trump's cases. It's lawfare, it's lawfare. The Democrats are using lawfare. Well, local far right Republicans literally used lawfare against me to shut me up. So that's just another thing. Every accusation is a projection. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. Every accusation is a confession or an aspiration. So I'm still here. Against me too, Don. Yep. Yeah, no, I miss seeing you at the meetings. I miss seeing a lot of people. Just, you know, what I know is the people that did this to me want nothing more than for me to come be in the same room with them so they can go lie to the court and say that I violated these court orders. That's what they want, which is why I'm not doing it. Yep. That's all they want. It's frustrating that it's allowed. I think it's pretty ridiculous that a civil case in the sense of something like that, you know, can result in losing your constitutional rights. I don't think that's how it should be, especially when it's the case that you lose your constitutional rights before anything's ever verified. So someone could just lie on a piece of paper, and that's enough somehow to take away someone's constitutional rights. It's wild to me. It's wild. Hey, Jess. Hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, I didn't realize I had a third TikTok account. I lost my first one that had like 100,000 followers. Then I lost the second one, the Welcome to Shasta County, that had like 20,000 followers. And then I was like, screw this. I don't even want to try with TikTok anymore. And then one day I was like, well, maybe I'll just make a new one so I can at least watch stuff on TikTok. And I went to sign in and it did something and it logged me into this account. And I was like, oh crap, I forgot about this account. So yeah, like I said, hopefully this is like the third time's the charm type thing. But who knows? There's people around here that will dedicate their lives to mass reporting anything I put out publicly. So, you know, I don't even have faith that this live stream itself will stay up, even though I know I haven't said anything that violates any community guidelines. But we'll see. We'll see. Yes, we are still alive. Like, we're definitely both physically still alive, you know? It's funny, I'll go out in public sometimes and people will see me and they're like, where have you been? And I'm like, the same places, you know? Home, work, local stores. It's just, I don't exist in the realm of local Facebook anymore. And so it seems like I'm gone. But I'm not. I'm here, you know? I don't know. What's up, the nerdy papa? Like, what else is going on locally right now? Like, if you're still in here, Don, what are like some issues that, like, if you're still attending the board meetings and you can see what's going on, like, what is really going on locally right now? Like, what's the buzz? Like, what's the, you know, the main things that they're doing at the board meetings right now? You know, what are they trying to do? Or like not do, you know? I would like to know that. Let's see. Giving millions to the new ROV? Oh my god. Of course. You know, that whole situation is so ridiculous. Like, one thing I did notice was the board being like very okay with and so quick to appoint, what's her name, Christy Coleman, to the head of HHSA or something with a crazy salary, and they're just like, I watched part of that board meeting online, and they were like, yep, we should do this. She's great. She's super great. We should just get her in there and not look at anybody else. And I'm like, what? When it was Joanna for the ROV, you guys put on this whole dog and pony show and made her go explain so hard why she deserves the job she should definitely have. And we're so scrutinous and so skeptical of Joanna, and like forced her out of the position she deserves. And then it comes to like Christy Coleman, and you're like, yep, put her in. And I'm like, how is this, like, how does Joanna not have grounds for some sort of crazy discrimination lawsuit against the county at this point? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that they're so blatant with their partisanship, you know, and the lack of fairness for, you know, both sides. It's just get someone in as quick as you can that will toe the line, you know, that will take the orders and carry them out. And I believe that's what Christy Coleman is for this board, which is why she was put under no scrutiny whatsoever to be given this position. It just feels wrong. The nerdy Papa Bear says Gallardo and his cretins are still destroying local school boards. Of course they are. Gallardo has no agenda in his life other than to be chaotic and be an oppositionalist. That's what I learned about Richard Gallardo. He will attack and turn on anybody. He has no loyalty to anyone or anything. I think he just exists as a person to be a contrarian to literally anything. That's it. Him and his little group of people, you know? They just do nothing for either side, and they just piss everybody off and cause problems. That's it. That's all they do. And it would just... I wish they could finally get some, like, legal consequences for all the bullshit they've done. You know, like all their Shasta Anon YouTube videos that are just complete defamation. Just so much defamation about so many people. And it's obviously them doing it. Like, it's clearly Rich Gallardo, Lori Bridgeford, Robert Exter, and possibly Laura Hobbs and her husband. Like, it's obviously them, you know? What's up, Ashley? Is that, are people still doing anything in that 530 Needs group? Because that place was the elephant graveyard, and I tried warning people in town about that Facebook group for a long time because I just knew, like, oh, this is an unregulated dark hole on the internet that shouldn't exist, and people can post anonymously. This is a bad thing for our community. And what ended up happening, a fight that was happening in that group ended up with a local guy getting pew-pewed. And I try to tell everybody. I tried telling the whole community, and I tried telling law enforcement, like, this is a bad thing. This is going to get someone hurt. And then, like, weeks later, and I saw it coming, you know. I saw what was going to happen with that group. So I don't know if people are still using it or whatever. What's up, Apple user 723228? So I also, so annoying, woke up today and for no reason had a Reddit ban. So I was also banned from Reddit this morning for no reason, and the reason they stated was for harassment. And I have not harassed anybody. I have not even messaged anybody. If I've even replied to another user, it's just been like one reply or something. I don't think one reply could count as harassment of any kind. But they permanently banned my Reddit account. So I don't know, I've appealed it. I've put in a support ticket with Reddit explaining, like, I have not harassed anybody. I'm certain it's just people who want me shut up are mass reporting me and saying it's harassment, and your algorithm system, you know, took it away. So if you guys could undo this and maybe punish the people who are actually harassing me by falsely reporting my stuff and abusing your report system, that'd be great. But who knows, it's Reddit. They might not even respond. Who knows? I just feel like there's just been a real a real strong push ever since Trump came into office to silence me on every form of social media. Except for YouTube. That's my only bastion. And what I'm going to try to do is when I can actually invite guests onto the live stream, I'm going to stream live on here and on YouTube at the same time and try to get like a thing going where, my content is just having discussions and conversations with Republicans, not just Trump supporters, but Republicans, like normal Republicans, people that are actually Republican or not, they don't have the Trump fucking brain slug, and they can actually hold a conversation without doing nothing but spouting out Newsmax or OAN conspiracy theories as the rebuttal to every argument. Those are the type of people I want to talk with, like just normal, actual, real Republicans who aren't crazy. So that's where I'm going with that. Let's see. Yeah, see, I can't invite guests. What was the requirements again? So go live for 30 minutes. Apparently I've done that. Go live on 3 separate days until I can invite guests. Ugh. It's annoying. Does that mean where can I get that hat? I actually had this hat custom made. I do have like a merch store that I can sell a version of this hat on, but it's not the same one. I don't want to mislead anybody, and I don't really care about advertising that right now. I just had this made at Lids in our local mall. I picked out the hat, I picked out the font. I wanted it to be big like that so you can actually see it. It's funny when I wear this hat around town because people don't quite immediately read it, so I've had like people on the right that have just kind of glanced and then like tried to quickly build some sort of camaraderie with me, and then they read the hat and they're like, oh, and I'm like, gotcha. And then I've had people on the left that have been like skeptical of me, and then they read it and they're like, oh dude, that's a sick hat, and then they like make a new friend. So this hat, like, it really has like a social impact, and it's it's fun to wear because you get opposite reactions from both sides of people from what you normally get once they realize what it says. It's like a weird little thing. Yeah, what's up, show the files, Don? I like that username. Yeah, if that's not a huge issue, I don't know what is. It's crazy to me that the whole, Epstein shit, how a lot of the MAGA Republicans are trying to spin it and twist it or, make it something it's not, when that was like the main thing. That was bigger than the border. It was all these QAnon people that really were like, we're gonna get the Epstein list and we're gonna expose all the Democrats. Because that's what Donald Trump and his people told them that list was gonna do. And then Donald Trump and Pam Bondi turn around and say, you know what, there's nothing in the files. We're not gonna release them. And that was the biggest mistake that they could have ever made. And it kind of shows you how actually not in touch they are with their base because they don't care about anybody. How they didn't realize how important of an issue that was. And so they just tried to bury it, thinking that their base, who they think are sheep, would just forget about it, would just be like, this is, all right, since Trump said it, we'll forget about it. And they were like, this was like what we've been waiting for, dude. And now you're going to say there's nothing, to the point where it's like, well, that's a pretty big confirmation that you're probably one of the main people involved in this, Trump, and everyone's trying to cover for him. And it's chaos. It's chaos. Like I go on Reddit or something, and it'll be like a thread or a post about something that's not even about that, and I click it, and the top comment is like, nice. Now release the files. It's like people aren't letting it go. They're not letting it go. And I don't think the Trump administration was prepared for this. And now they're trying to give Ghislaine Maxwell sweetheart deals and, move her to low security prisons. Like, obviously, they're doing this to keep her quiet. And I feel like one of the things that's been interesting is seeing this really failed rhetoric from the far right, trying to be like, oh yeah, well, what about Bill Clinton? And they're not understanding that the left doesn't give a shit about Bill Clinton. If Bill Clinton participated in that shit, then hell yeah, lock him up too. Because their minds can't understand that our side is not cultishly loyal to our politicians. We scrutinize our own politicians. We judge them, we hold them to account, whereas the MAGA people are just like literally want Trump to be king and anything he says goes. It's not democracy. That's not a republic. That's a monarchy or dictatorship. Like it's insane. It's insane, and they literally, I don't know. They're a lot of them are, I think, are actually just brainwashed, like just cooked, completely cooked. All the wrinkles in their brain have been smoothed out. Okay. What's up, Nicole? Joe Head. Yeah. I wonder if it shows you. Does it show you how long you've been live on here? Does it? Oh, can someone answer? Can you read my hat like normally? Like, is it, or is the text backwards? Curious about that. Because I can do a little setting that switches it, but I want to know it's not flipped. Okay, cool. So that means I should have mirror your video turned off when I go live. That's good to know. Okay. What's up, hey? So I don't know. I'm gonna check out some new stuff. I really like watching Midas Touch. I think they're doing great, but I'm not sure if like TikTok will get me for some sort of copyright thing if I listen to what is essentially another content creator's content on stream. But I can probably watch actual news without getting, unless Midas Touch considers themselves news, which I consider them news, but I don't know if TikTok would consider them news. And that's the issue. There's too many rules with social media, which you can frickin' do and say. Let's see what MSNBC says. This is from MSNBC TikTok, okay? News. I should be able to watch this. Let's get the volume up.
For better or for worse, it's not the sort of thing you can fake. There's no substitute, no alternative, no replacement. But without it, political parties of any and all stripes have learned again and again, perhaps some more recently than others, that without genuine grassroots enthusiasm, authentic excitement among the vast majority of your voters, electorally, you are toast. So you can understand why Democrats are starting to feel like they've got their mojo back today, the wind back in their sails, thanks to a rather unexpected issue. What NBC News calls the, quote, burning hot center of Democratic politics right now, the battle over redistricting. It started in the state of Texas, where today Texas Governor Greg Abbott is once again threatening the Democratic lawmakers who fled that state in order to deny Republicans a quorum.
Okay, that's ridiculous, right? The whole thing that Texas is doing, and they're literally trying to rig them. Probably can't say that on TikTok, but they're trying to do that to our election process, and all Democrats are doing is just trying to counter it. Like that's what Gavin Newsom's doing, and some of these other blue states considering the redistricting. It's because Governor Greg Abbott, who is, I have nothing good to say about that man, is literally just trying to help Trump cheat. That's what he's trying to do. That's what they're trying to do, and they're just out in the open trying to do it. Well, if we can't, work with how the citizenry and the maps are districted right now, we'll just change everything and make all these districts weird shapes so that we can literally fucking cheat. And I thought it was that side that was so concerned about manipulating things like that. And again, every accusation is a confession or an aspiration. It's so ridiculous. And then the Democrats, they fled the state to kill the quorum, which I think that was a smart move. And then the governor's like, oh, we're going to send the FBI to arrest these Democrats and drag them back to Texas so that we can hold our vote to cheat in the fucking election. This is the state of the GOP right now, the Trump-run Republican Party. They're horrible people, cheaters, liars, and in many cases that we've now seen and has been confirmed, PDF files. So, yeah, this is... Tulsi is going to arrest Obama. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, oh, yeah, we have to distract it. Like, you know what all this, like, so much of this is? I don't think the redistricting thing is actually a distraction. That's just the next step of their Project 2024, 2025 plan, you know, is to take more power. That's all it is. And the whole Obama thing about the Russia stuff, boom, nothing but a distraction to get people to stop talking about the Epstein files. Like, that is the thing that Trump cannot get away from, and people need to absolutely keep talking about it. In fact, I made my own whole website to keep track of and track all of the publicly available information about what happened with the whole Trump connection with Epstein. So you can go to pdffpr.com. Free website, no ads whatsoever. There's a little disclaimer to read and agree to, but you know, you can't join or comment, so there's no information that I can get from you. It's basically a blog with all the information that I've found and curated from all over the internet and put in one place so that people can actually see what went on. Testimonies from the alleged victims, court documents, a lot of actual .pdf files. You know, yeah, pdffpr.com. You should go check it out. Anyway, let's get back to this.
As they endeavor to rip up Texas's congressional districts mid-decade. Abbott says once the legislature's special session ends Friday, he plans to immediately begin a new one until he can push through his new, even more Republican-friendly map, a special request from Donald Trump. One of those Democrats outside of Texas state lines right now is Representative James Tallarico. Fox News invited him on their air yesterday to talk gerrymandering, and this is how it went.
You gave the ballgame analogy. In my view, what has happened here is you've done something in certain states, and you don't like it when it's done in Republican states. And now you're saying, you've done the same thing as us. You've done the same thing as us, and we are going to, by the way, if you do it, we're going to ratchet it up even more, in the words of Gavin Newsom.
My party has never gerrymandered in the middle of the decade at the request of the President of the United States, nor would we. The only way this is going to happen in blue states is if Texas executes this power grab.
Boom.
It's in Massachusetts.
Right. It's just a response,
the party of the governor
a necessary response.
He was a Republican. It was a Republican governor that signed that map into law. So I just want to be clear with our facts, and I don't want to muddy the waters. All of us, whether we're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, we should stand up to politicians who don't want to face accountability at the ballot box. That's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
Boom.
I'm getting wrapped on time.
Of course you are, Will Kane.
Go on.
Yeah, he ran away. He ran away.
Will Kane looks like he has a lifeline.
Yeah, he ran away.
Just Texas Democrats who are now vowing to fight fire with fire in what Democrats see as what it is, a Republican power grab. But their party allies, other Democrats, have entered the fray as well.
Cringe?
California's Governor Gavin Newsom, for instance, has spent the better part of the week masterfully trolling Donald Trump online. It culminated in an all-caps threat written in very Trumpian style to make sure he understood it, I guess.
Yeah.
Quote, Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, quote, missed the deadline, exclamation point. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps.
Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. He literally wrote it in Trump's voice. That's hilarious. I'm actually really happy with how Governor Newsom has just been bullying the bullies. I've been trying to get people to understand that for years. If you look back at, well, so much of my content that you can't see now, but especially, and you can go on YouTube still, that is what I've been doing for years. That is what I've been doing, is I realized many years ago, because I grew up here, that the only way to deal with a bully is to bully them back. You have to bully them back. You just have to. And finally, the top echelon of Democrats is realizing that, and they're putting out that messaging, and it's great. Because the whole Democrat, you know, when they go low, we go high thing, that may have worked at one point, but it doesn't work anymore, because when we go high, they just go lower and they get more shit done. So we just have to meet them on whatever level they're trying to attack on and fight against it. That's what has to be done. So yeah, bully bullies back. That's what everyone should be doing, because the whole Trump administration and what he's turned the GOP and much of the Republican Party into is being bullies. That's the language they speak, so speak their language.
They will be historic, as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Big press conference this week with powerful Dems and Gavin Newsom, your favorite governor. It will be devastating for MAGA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, whatever happens in California or Texas or Illinois or anywhere else, it's clear Democrats have some momentum back. They're energized, not just by the issues, but by their own voters who are all too eager to see them fight.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we start today.
No King's Day was the biggest protest of all time.
The Bulwark, MSNBC contributor Sam Stein's here. Also joining us, pollster and president of Brilliant Corners Research, MSNBC political analyst Cornell Belcher's here. And we start with Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia of California, ranking member of the Oversight Committee. Congressman, I like the translation feature, and I feel like, among other things, what Gavin Newsom has cracked the code on is that translation into Donald Trump's social media posting language. Quite an epic troll of him. But on the substance of this, where do you see this fight?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, people are energized, and if Texas is going to punch, California is going to punch back harder. And people are right now in a fighting mood. This has united the party. We're ready to push back. And this is the way Donald Trump has made it clear that how he wants to rig the 2026 election. A lot of us have been kind of contemplating how he's going to try to rig the 2028 election. No, it's the 2026 election is how he's going to plan on doing it. And so we support the governor's effort. He is punching back just as he should be. We are all behind this effort. And what we're going to do in California is not just match Texas seat to seat. We're going to ensure that all of our members that are in tougher seats are also in bluer seats. And so we're going to build a firewall in our state. And we're in this fight because Donald Trump wants to be in it. And the only thing that Donald Trump understands is brute force. We've got to take him for his word that he's going to try to do this across the country. And Democrats have got to go state to state and do the same thing.
Let me ask you this. I mean, mostly for better, but I guess in some instances for worse, the Democratic Party is not the Republican Party. The Republican Party doesn't ask why. The Republican Party doesn't say, oh, I've never been for this before. The Republican Party does what Donald Trump wants it to do. The Democratic Party isn't like that. Do you have unity among elected Democrats, and have you seen data that suggests this is what the majority of your voters want?
Welcome to the new Democratic Party. I mean, the reality is that we can no longer play the respectability game. We can no longer always try to be the good guys. We can no longer always try to do the right thing at the right moment and pull test everything that we do.
Roswell,
we have tried to do the right thing.
What's up, Dale Black 36, Ben R,
the letter of the law,
Craig,
always try to do. We have tried
Joe
to
Borders,
always be that party
Mary, Wow, there's a lot of
that
people
brings
joining.
people in, and that does it in a
Bradley,
way that
Irene,
is of respect and commands, I think,
Superbrain,
a large coalition.
all
We've
my
been losing
enemies
elections. We
are
lost the
Eric.
presidential election.
I can't read
We
that
don't
name.
have control
Freddie
of the Congress.
Camarillo.
It is time for us.
There's a lot of people joining. That's cool. Right on. Thank you for the gifts, wifey. Geo20, welcome to the stream. John Hayer 945. Well, since people are joining, I'm just going to repeat why I'm live right now again. So I can't invite people onto the stream yet because apparently I have to go live for 3 days in a row to invite people to talk with me on the stream. I'm on this account because my previous 2 accounts were permanently banned for absolutely no reason other than I believe the fact that I'm a person on the left and people on the right mass report the things I say regardless, no matter what. And so what I'm trying to do is once I can actually invite people to this stream, I want to, my only criteria would be that they be Republican. Don't have to be like a Trump supporter or a MAGA person, just a Republican, just the type of Republicans I remember growing up with. Republicans who are actually Republican, who are actually patriots, who are actually Christians, and want to legitimately have a conversation about what's going on in this country. You know, that's what my goal, will be. So I'm on day 1. I have to go live tomorrow and the next day to even allow people to join. But that's my goal, like not really trying to be like one of these young debaters that is just out here dunking on people, which is great, by the way. Like the Deans and Parkers of the world, they're great. We need more of that. But I feel like there is a path to, instead of just trying to debate, dunk on each other, where, meaningful conversations can happen that don't just have to be someone trying to win an argument. So, Black Lives Matter, hell yeah, they do. Israel says all lives matter. Well, yeah. See, that's the thing with that argument. You're only saying all lives matter because you're seeing a hat that says Black Lives Matter. So it wouldn't be wrong for you to just, for example, walk in to a room full of people, just a room full of people, and you just announced, hey, everybody in here, all of your lives matter. Nothing wrong with that. But if you are only saying all lives matter because someone said Black Lives Matter, then you're racist. That's what that means. That's all that means in that context. So, just thought I'd state that. Why is the BLM movement so full of anger and violence? That's ridiculous. D. Moan says, this hat though, hell yeah. Trolls are joining. Great. That's excellent. Cora, thank you for joining. Hammers Official, Fire Keen 70. That hat, yes sir. And this hat gets people, it really does. Especially out when I wear it. When I wear it in town. I live in a red county in California. BLM isn't full of anger and violence. It was the Jake Pauls doing the looting. That's funny. What's up? Pink Lotus. Spin House Designs followed. Thank you for the follow. Frog just got the number 2 gifter badge. That's cool. Don't quite know what it means, but my wife had the first gifter badge, so that's neat. I think my wife also got the top fan badge. Christy, what's up? If only we could. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to say it. There's another All Lives Matter, another triggered person that just can't do anything but get angry when they see Black Lives Matter. That just, if you see that and it pisses you off, you're racist. That's the simple truth to it. If you can't see the phrase Black Lives Matter without getting angry, you're a bigot. That's what that means. That's all that means. That's absolutely what that means. You know what? I think this is a good time because some of these snowflakes are in here and they're mad at this hat. So I'm gonna play a song that I wrote for people just like you while I go grab something to drink.
Snowflake Productions, Buford Wax.
This one's for you.
This one's for all you patriots out there. I'm talking about the real men, the God-fearing patriots. You know who you are. Built for it tough. I drive a lifted truck. Check my cheek, you'll always find a little bit of snuff. Never swim in the buff. I always keep my shirt on. At times when I'm alone, I like to put a skirt on. Drive down to GMC, the cashier's seeing me. She can't see past my knees, so I'm gonna get my flirt on. My pants are getting dense. Let me build up the suspense. Can I please get your number and 2 packs of extends? I'm a country boy. I'll crush a can. I'm a snowflake man. Yeah. I'm a snowflake man. Yeah. Thank God it's overcast, cause I'm melting fast. Save space on fire so I don't get harassed. I'm a snowflake man. Snowflake man, you know I am. Walking in my Wranglers down an old country highway. See a black man and I think he's headed my way. Don't know what to do, I guess I'll ad lib. So I cross the street, don't like the cut of his jib.
And I like the chatter,
but my words don't really matter.
The back of my lift it says, Black Lob Splatter.
You think that's funny, we like to waste our money on stupid shit that proves we start to melt when it gets sunny. I'm a country boy.
Snowflake man, yeah.
I'm a snowflake man.
This one's for you, angry people. It's overcast cause I'm melting fast, safe space on X. I'm a snowflake man, yeah. I'm a snowflake man.
Just a God-fearing patriot. And then make fake accounts on Facebook and make death threats behind them. And then name the chief of a country boy.
I'll crush a can. I'm a snowflake man. Yeah. I'm a snowflake man. Yeah. I'm a snowflake man.
And you know I'm a patriot.
That one's for you.
Keep a gun in my lifted truck.
Everyone who's mad about my hat, that one's for you. That one's for you. I got a whole bunch more of these. Jimmy Weeks Jr. says, I gotta read this first before I read it out loud. Man, my dad told my grandma that I wasn't, can't read that out loud. I missed that word. Yep, I'm not gonna read that out loud. Gotta love the vibe of these MAGA trolls who just belch out bigotry by choice. Yeah, it's like, we're so over it. We're basically just immune to it. Like the shit that they say and do to try to get to us, or you know rustle our jimmies. It doesn't work anymore. We just laugh at them. We just make fun of them, point and laugh. Because that's all they deserve. Just point and laugh. Make fun of them, bully the bullies. That's the only thing that that's the only thing left. I personally have zero human compassion left for people who still choose to be MAGA. None. I'm paying $5,000 to the first 5 people to inbox me. I mean, I don't think that's a bad word, but I feel like I shouldn't say it out loud because I don't know what it means and why you're saying that. I thought I was on the wrong side of TikTok for a second. Yeah. El Trocero 3 says, I'm MAGA, better than BLM. Well, see, that's like the problem right there. BLM was politicized by the right. For me, I protested for BLM, what the 3 words mean. I don't know if I know there was some organization called BLM and they were taking donations. There's nothing to do with Black Lives Mattering. The BLM movement is not an organization, just like Antifa isn't an organization. There's no leader of Antifa. There's no leader of BLM. There's no structure. There's no consigliere or generals or lieutenants. It's just an ideology. It's the ideology of thinking that Black lives in fact matter. I think the messaging could have been better if it was explained further earlier on, because what Black Lives Matter, the term actually means is Black Lives Matter as much as everyone else. That was the point of the movement. Black Lives Matter as much as everyone else. And then the right just politicized the hell out of it and did the same thing. Like Antifa is, again, like I said, not a group. It's anti-fascism. So that's what Antifa means. Now, if somebody were to ask me, are you Antifa? Well, the answer is yes, because I'm anti-fascism. But they're asking that to imply that I'm part of this shadowy group of people trying to burn and loot everything. No, I'm not part of that whatsoever. But I am anti-fascist. And if you are like, I'm MAGA, which is better than Antifa, do you not understand what that argument means? Because MAGA is an actual organization with a leader, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the leader of MAGA. Tell me who the leader of Antifa is. Tell me who the leader of BLM is. Doesn't exist, because that's not a thing, okay? You're just trying to... People on the right, like MAGA people, you know what MAGA is. And so you try to project and accuse people on the left of having a similar organization that you guys do in fact have. All right? We don't. We believe that Black Lives Matter as much as everyone else. And we believe that people in America, actual patriots, should be anti-fascist. That's what the belief is. And you guys really just have a hard time understanding that. So, yeah, Ryan says, still waiting for my Antifa invite. I want to be a part of the shadow world, right? User a billion numbers says, BLM is a scam, no profile picture. Okay, bot. Which country are you from? Which bot farm in what country are you posting from or commenting from? Connor Henry, what's up, Connor Henry? So there was someone up here that looked like a real account. El Trocero. Oh, I'm not bot. Okay. BLM is a scam. I'm not bot. Okay. That's proud U.S. citizen. Those are all some real bot-ass things to say. Just saying. Yeah. That's funny. I'm not bot. All right, let's finish up this one. And maybe I'll try going to a Midas Touch one. I don't know what just happened. The view count just went from like 300, or like the people on the live count just went from like 300 something down to 8. So I don't know what TikTok's doing here. This is basically an experimental stream to just see how it goes. Eric Johns just got the number 3 gifter badge. That's cool. What does that mean though? Like, are the gifts are the little roses and stuff, right? I know that. But does it... I guess it shows the badge. That's cool. Well, thank you for the gifts. It's cool. I appreciate it.
Us to dig in deep and to match whatever the Republicans throw on us and then some. And it doesn't mean we got to lose our values. Our values are still about inclusion, supporting those that need help the most, bringing folks in, growing the country, supporting working class folks. That is still who we are. But the way we get to those majorities, the way we win elections has to change. And I've not heard one Democrat or voter on the ground ever tell me once, hey, can you please dial it back a little bit? Or, hey, can you, you're being a little bit too aggressive? I'm glad now that the party is finally in an aggressive posture, and we are not going to let the foot off the gas.
What is the process like? Because of all the things you just nodded to, the norms and respect for institutions, in some blue states, there are steps that Democrats have.
All right, so watching whatever I'm watching is just filler. I think what's more important is paying attention to the people in the stream. User whatever, again, no profile picture. Your party is a fraud. Trump took all your voters. Trump took all your voters. That's an interesting take. Are you saying that Trump manipulated the election to literally take votes away from Democrats? Is that what you're saying? Just saying. I mean, all 5 swing states, popular vote, everything. Yeah, I think I can't really go down that rabbit hole of discussion on TikTok, but there's a lot of stuff you can Google, and there's court cases happening, and there's evidence of things. So, yeah. Yeah, I know it gotta hurt. Yeah. See, right now, I'm like, I should just ban this person. But the reason I don't is because I'm just trying to build this live stream, and the more this person comments ridiculous things, every comment boosts the live. So keep helping me. Thank you for helping me, Mr. Angry Anonymous MAGA person. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the stream. These MAGA people, they will seek out things that they don't like. If you're not a bot and you're actually a real person like you say, why is it that people like you seek out things that you're going to disagree with? Like I said, I don't seek out like Charlie Kirk's streams and go into his streams, or like Tim Pool or something. I don't go to their streams and their spaces just to throw my weight around or fight against them. All right? I just ignore them because I don't give a crap what they're saying. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know what their thoughts are. I don't care at all. But for some reason, you people on your side, the far right side, the MAGA Trump supporters, you will go seek out our liberal left-leaning channels and spaces to go throw your ideologies and your ridiculous opinions and beliefs into our spaces and then try to report us and get our stuff taken down. Why not just keep scrolling when you see my stream and just go find something you want to watch? Why do you think these young debaters like Dean and Parker and stuff get to have these platforms? Because they know there's always guaranteed going to be a constant stream of MAGA people that are seeking out liberals to go try to fight and harass and bully and intimidate them. And so they capitalize on that. There would be less of that if you people would just stop trying to go seek out liberals and eradicate them and bully them and it's what's even more pathetic is you just said, please, you people are so intolerant and attack people who don't agree with you. Well, I have no idea who you are. You can see my face. My real name is in my channel. You're literally just user 6528398670245. That's nothing. You're just anonymous. So my thought is, why on earth should I care at all what you, being anonymous, has to say if you can't even stand behind your own words with your own identity? See what I mean? All you are to me right now, you're just content. You're giving me something to talk about, and you're engaging in my channel. I don't actually give a crap about anything you think or any of your opinions or ideologies. I'm just using you as content right now. That's it. So why do you guys do this shit to yourselves? Blows my mind. You're just all so desperate to go seek out the libs. But you do it anonymously, so it's that innately makes you a coward. Don't you understand that? I'm bored, I told you. Okay, alright. Well, that's fine. You can be bored. Thanks for supporting my stream, I guess. Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up? I went away. It was Jimmy something? Jimmy Henson? Thanks for joining the stream. I got almost 4,000 likes on the stream so far. That's cool. That's cool. Alright, let's see if we can get through this video.
Have to take that someone like Governor Abbott doesn't have to take in Texas. Can you just take me through what happens now in California?
Absolutely. So in California, the process is a little bit more complicated, but we're going to get it done. I mean, we're essentially, the legislature right now is developing these maps. Well, obviously with Congress and the governor's in the driver's seat. These maps will go in front of the legislature. The legislature will vote to put the maps in front of voters. That election is going to happen in November, likely. And so the whole process of actually getting on the ballot will happen in the next 2 weeks. Voters will then vote on the new map in November, and then that map will be the map that folks run for in these new seats in 2026. Now, the process in other states like New York or Illinois, they're all a little bit different. But I've been encouraging governors, legislators across the country, if you are in a blue state, or if we have some control over the redistricting process, the time to act is now. Do not wait for the Republicans to start rolling out their next list of states. The planning has to start immediately. If California can do it, and we're going to take it to the ballot, it's going to be very expensive and very difficult to do, but we're going to get it done. Every other state that has the ability to do so needs to do the same thing immediately.
Let me read you one more tweet from Governor Newsom, and then I want to bring my other panelists into this conversation. He added this, quote, "When Speaker Little Man Johnson is standing in the unemployment line, he can thank Donald Taco J. Trump. Trump missed a simple deadline, something he has often done with his many failed businesses. Now California will fire him with new, more beautiful maps, highly anticipated historic press conference," and this is with your favorite governor. Is this a tone that you would like to see all your fellow Democrats adopt?
Look, yes. I mean, look. I think what the governor is doing here is being more aggressive. As far as people's tones or how they take on the Republicans in their state or their governors or the president is up to them. But the governor is doing exactly what we need to do and a true model in the way to take on Donald Trump. Donald Trump only understands brute force. He only understands someone actually standing up to him and pushing back aggressively. And I think the governor has captured the moment, and he's leading the country in putting these maps in front of voters. And as for the rest of the party and members of Congress,
thank you for the gifts,
all of us that are involved, we just have to match that level of energy.
Billy Eisenhart 62, thank you for joining.
You've had incredible guests and conversations, Nicole. You just obviously in Texas and across the country, people are pushing back, and these folks need to continue to do so, not just against Donald Trump, but Republicans in their own states.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, the whole Texas redistricting thing is, it's a big issue. It's literally them trying to cheat in the midterms. That's what it is. They're trying to manipulate the maps so that they can get more votes in certain places. And I think one of the best things that I'd heard about that so far, I forget who said it, I think it was earlier in that video, was that Democratic representative being like, well, if their policies are so good, and their ideologies are so popular, why can't they just rely on those things to get the votes they need to win? Why do they have to change the rules of the game to win? See, that's the thing. That's the tell right there. Like, if they actually thought what they want to do was popular enough to be voted in democratically, there would be no need to gerrymander or redistrict Texas. There'd be no need to do that. But that's what Trump wants them to do, because they know that they're not only steamrolling over the left, like so much of the right really loved about the administration, which, by the way, if you voted for Trump to own the libs, you're many things I can't say on stream. That's what I think about that. But they're not even just owning the libs anymore. That's the thing. And that's the thing that so many people like that still support Trump and have supported Trump for a long time. Sorry, my chair's all screwed up. Are like, I think, starting to realize, but they're in denial and having a hard time admitting to themselves that is something that the left has been saying the whole time. And these MAGA people, if there's one thing they can never bring themselves to do, admit the liberals were right. All right? And we've been saying for so long, Donald Trump doesn't care about you either. How do you think a New York billionaire who has never even done so much as like pick up a garden shovel, you know, could possibly know what it's like to be, you know, a blue collar worker, you know, someone who works in construction, someone who works for, you know, Caltrans, like a lot of the type of jobs, you know, Republican men have. How on earth could Donald Trump connect to any of that whatsoever? Like, Tim Walz is way more like the people, like these countrymen that support Donald Trump, and they just hated Tim Walz because they were told to. And I don't understand that. Like, I grew up thinking, like, I was raised by Democrat, but sort of like country, slightly right-leaning, you know, Democrats. My grandparents, like, I grew up learning how to hunt, how to fish, how to shoot. You know, I went into the, you know, military. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran, and I grew up in here in Shasta County, which is a red county, but I grew up in like far northern East Shasta County, which is really rural, like really rural. And like, I grew up in a place where like the houses are a quarter of a mile apart. You know, it's rural as hell. And I remember just a lot like these Republican tough guys, these cowboys, you know, they were actually tough. And I thought that they were, you know, the type of people that, you know, wouldn't allow the government to tread on them, right? Don't tread on me. I got my guns. I'll never bow to a tyrant. That's what I thought Republicans were. And then Trump came along, and I realized, like, it was the Black Lives Matter protest that happened that really showed me that I was surrounded by people that I didn't know were fucking racist. And I was like, what the fuck? You're all fucking racist? How the fuck? You know, and I think that's one of the things is what Trump did is he gave a lot of people who actually had a lot of bigotry in their heart, he gave them the free pass to release it. And I think so many of them were just holding in a lot of bigoted hatred after dealing with a black president for 2 terms. They just had to hold in a lot of stuff. And we all know how much Trump hates Obama. I mean, Obama roasting him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner is, I honestly believe, what made Donald Trump run for president, because he could not stand idly by and allow a black man to make fun of him. And so his response for that was, I'm gonna go be king of the world. What a snowflake response, to be honest. Like, I honestly believe that if that was one of Trump's main reasons for running in the first place, was because a black man, during basically what is a comedy set, made fun of him, and that hurt his fifis so bad that he did everything he could and manipulated the whole country so hard in response to go try to get more than that black guy has. What's more snowflake than that? Honestly, that is the most snowflake thing I've ever seen. Ever. It's un-American to put partisan ideology over your fellow countrymen. Yes, it absolutely is. MAGA GOP does so many un-American things, unpatriotic things, you know. Let's see, what else we got here? What's some news?
The people of Nevada are absolutely furious at Donald Trump. Not just broken promises by Donald Trump, but outright fraud.
Check out
the
Midas
people
Touch.
who said, but Donald Trump's going to say no tax on tips. It's far more gimmicky than that.
Wait,
But
when
now,
was this?
workers who
2
rely on
hours ago.
tips are finding out that their incomes have been cut in half as a result of Donald Trump making everybody scared to travel to the United States. I mean, from Canada alone, tourism is down nearly 40%, although I think the numbers...
So this is what I'm seeing. I don't think I can't aim my camera and show the screen at the same time, but they're talking about Las Vegas tipped workers say their income has fallen by more than half as tourism plunges. So yeah, Donald Trump's whole no tax on tips thing is screwing the people who make tips. When are people that support Donald Trump going to realize and admit to themselves that you were wrong? You were wrong. You were lied to. You believed it. You should suffer some ridicule for that. And people should be able to be upset with you for your decision making. And you should suffer and face some ridicule for your crazy amount of support for this person who has now proven that he's just here to screw us all over and help his rich friends and the rich people of America. That's his only fucking goal. That's it. And to get rid of brown people. That's it. That's all he's here to do. And you guys literally try to call him some sort of savior or, he's the guy that's going to expose the PDF file of Democrats. Yeah, no, he is the fucking main PDF file, all right? You all know it. You all know that he was all involved with the Epstein crap. We all know that. You all know it. You know why he's, giving Ghislaine Maxwell a sweetheart deal and having his personal lawyer go make a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell and then move her to a minimum security prison. They're about to pardon her. They've basically just about given her a pardon because they gave her the same sweetheart deal that Michael Acosta gave Epstein, to where he could leave prison to go on work assignments. I don't think there's any argument whatsoever left to justify MAGA or supporting Donald Trump. I don't think there's any good faith argument left to supporting Donald Trump. Like, it doesn't. He's just done so much. And I think at this point, if you are someone who is still trying to justify your support for Donald Trump, you're simply in denial, and your entitlement won't allow you to admit that you were wrong. That's what I think. Anyways.
May even be bigger than that. And boycott basically across the world of traveling to the United States based on what they're seeing take place here in the United States. I mean, Las Vegas, visitors to Las Vegas overall dropped about 11.3% in 2025. I mean, and we're also seeing massive amounts in economic loss being experienced in Vegas. This recent guest column by a union worker over at Bartenders Local 165, I think puts it perfectly. Spencer Redenor. Trump is destroying Nevada's economy. He goes on to say, as a proud member and former shop steward of Bartenders Union Local 165, I'm seeing firsthand how Trump administration's policies, especially rising tariffs and strained ties with key international markets,
Trump is killing Vegas.
Our families and
think
our
about
livelihoods.
that.
Our city swings
Trump's
on
killing
tourism,
Vegas.
especially international visitors from Canada and Europe. He talks about how those visitors are no longer showing up to Las Vegas in huge numbers. Nevada already leads the nation in unemployment. As of July, our rate was the highest of any state, roughly 5.4%, compared with a national average of about 4.2%. That's tens of thousands of Las Vegans out of work, including thousands of fellow union members. It also talks about how a major industry in Nevada and Las Vegas, of course, is construction, because the costs...
I didn't know people from Las Vegas were called Las Vegans, because it's spelled vegans. And I think that's funny.
Are significantly higher as a result of Donald Trump's trade war against the world. Construction projects are not occurring, or they're being paused, and that's resulting in a loss of construction jobs. And then also Donald Trump's attack on one of Nevada's key growing industry sectors, clean energy jobs and the clean energy boom that we're seeing. Trump has attacked those jobs nearly 22,000 jobs and over $15 billion in new investment in Nevada, all because Donald Trump doesn't like the windmills by his golf course in Aberdeen that he promotes, that he's now taking that out on critical clean energy jobs in Nevada and frankly across the United States. But what else would we expect from somebody like Donald Trump who destroyed Atlantic City? We've seen him do this before. He quite literally destroyed that city, and now he's moving on to his encore, Nevada and Las Vegas, which he's taking aim at. But just to remind you, this was Donald Trump's experience in Atlantic City in the 90s. Let's play it.
The hotel was advertised as the eighth wonder of the world when it opened in 1990.
Step beyond your wildest imagination.
He's such a failure.
Symbol of Donald Trump's meteoric rise as a real estate tycoon, filled with Trump's signature glitz and gold. It cost nearly $1 billion to build.
Is it necessary to build on such a scale?
The scale, Charlie, is what brings the people. The opulence, the size, the everything is what really is going to make the Taj Mahal, I think, the most successful hotel anywhere in the world.
But Monday at 5:59 a.m., the doors were locked at the Taj after 26 years, leaving thousands of middle-class workers without jobs. So how did Trump's crown jewel go from this...
I'm really happy with what I'm seeing.
...to this? I gotta show you a picture of what the casino looked like. It was pretty remarkable. Take a look at this.
It's like a huge open.
It's eerie.
What do you
Empty
think is the
casino.
significance of the fact that the Taj Mahal ended in bankruptcy and was just deserted?
It was a signature development for him.
A signature moment for him and a signature disaster
What's up, Sue Wee Bowo?
Now, what is
Thanks for joining the stream.
Republican Governor Joe Lombardo saying? Is he sympathetic to the fact that thousands and thousands of people are losing their jobs, struggling in his state? Nope. The Midas Touch Network unearthed audio of him. This was back in April, and we published it exclusively on the Midas Touch Network, where during a speech, which he thought was private, or he wasn't aware of whatever, Governor Joe Lombardo said that he was telling people, F you, is what he said. He goes, anyone who's complaining can go F themselves. Here, play this clip.
All the individuals on social media, they're talking bad about all of us, in particular me, and a little bit on Starbucks Anthony. Who cares? Starbucks said the line is, fuck you.
He's big mad. I don't care.
Well, there
I don't
is
care.
a major governor's
Yeah,
race
you
where,
do. Yeah, you do.
Republican Governor Joe Lombardo is up for re-election, but there are Democrats fighting back, and the Democratic candidate, the current Attorney General of Nevada, Attorney General Ford, the Democratic candidate for governor in this upcoming 2026 election. Let's bring him in. Attorney General Ford, it's great to be with you today. I showed all of those clips right there, at the outset to paint the picture of what we're seeing, but you're there on the ground floor. You're running against Lombardo in this critical race. He's one of the most vulnerable Republicans, and you can see why. First, let's talk about what you're seeing in the state, and let's talk about what you do.
Well, first off, thanks so much for having me on. And the intro there was quite perfect, frankly. I got to correct you, though. I'm not running against Joe Lombardo. I don't run against people. He's running against me, to be sure. I'm running for the office of governor, for the people of the state, the people who he has told to go F themselves, right? We're seeing that on the ground. We understand that his entire
Thank you for the follow,
is really
Elena.
only about him and his party and his big donors. It's not about those who put him in office, those who have entrusted him with taking care of Nevadans, or those who have entrusted him to stand up to Donald Trump. The fact is, Joe Lombardo can't stand up. And he won't stand up against Donald Trump because he is kowtowing to him at every turn. What we're seeing on the ground, and what you read from the post from my neighbor here in Las Vegas is exactly what's happening. It's horrible. Our housing prices are skyrocketing. Our health insurance, people are losing it. Our educational system continuously ranks toward the bottom. And we have someone who says,
Alina says, I've been wondering where your account had been. Good to see you. Yeah, they took it away. They just keep taking all of my social media away, like systematically, it feels like. Lost my first main TikTok account, which was I am Nathan Blaze, and had like 100,000 followers, and they just took that away, went bye-bye. Then I had the Welcome to Shasta County account that I got up to about 20,000 followers, and they just took that away. They're just gone. And I didn't realize that I had this third account until I went to go try to make a new account, and it logged me into this one. So, yeah, like hopefully this third time is the charm. But if anybody's in here, I'll say it again another time. The reason I'm wanting to do this and go live is I didn't realize until after I started the stream that I don't have the ability to allow guests to join the stream and, you know, talk with them. That was what I was hoping to do. I have to stream for 3 days total before that unlocks, so I gotta go live again tomorrow and the next day before I can even invite in somebody onto the stream to talk to them. But what I want to do is I want to have like conversations, maybe / debates with people who are Republicans. You know, I'm like not like hardcore MAGA people or hardcore Trump supporters, but just like normal Republicans, like Republicans that are actual Christians, you know, and actually believe in the teachings of the Bible, and they actually believe in democracy and the rule of law, you know. And I want to have conversations with those people. It feels like there's enough people in this space that are just out here debating and dunking on MAGA people, which is fun. That's fun to do, and it's very entertaining to watch. But I think there is also another lane to have like a discussion between someone on the left who's not extreme, like I consider myself, and someone on the right who's not extreme, and just kind of bring that conversation to the public space. So once I can allow people to join this live, I will hopefully be able to do that and entice some Republicans who are at least 18 years or older to just have a comfortable conversation where they don't have to fear that I'm just going to humiliate them in front of a bunch of people on the internet, and just have a conversation. And I plan to, you know, when I can do that, to stream it on YouTube as well at the same time, you know, like some of these young debaters do. But I just kind of want to do a little bit of a different thing and see if that goes anywhere. So that's the whole point of this. This is actually, this live stream is the longest I've ever been live on. Hey, that's cool. Thanks for the sunglasses, Elena. It's the longest I've ever been live on TikTok, ever, even in my past accounts, because I usually don't like going live. I like making edited content, but whatever. Got to step outside your box sometimes, right? And that's what I'm trying to do with this. Yeah. I kind of want to find something maybe more, I don't know, like a new announcement from like a government official or something. I think a lot of this stuff is like I don't really like watching things like CNN. Like I don't like CNN. I think CNN is pretty much BS and extremely comparable to Fox News in a way, which obviously is garbage. Oh, that's funny. This one pops up. It's a Vice News video about Shasta County. I remember seeing this before. It says, "Did Fox News melt this county's brain?" We should watch that. You guys will have to just listen to it, but I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna refresh myself and see what actually happened then. It's 2 years ago, and I already in the preview recognized so many people.
Within 2 years.
So this looks like cottonwood.
And the fact that all machines can be hacked and manipulated makes the issue of hacking become facts. If hacking can take place in our elections, does my vote count? I don't think so.
I've had bad
More than 2
experiences
years
with that
after
man.
Donald Trump lost the 2020 presidential election, people around the country are still freaking out over the idea that voting machines can't be trusted.
When someone says, oh, just stick it in the machine and everything is perfect,
That's
we know
Patty,
it's not.
Patty
Garbage
Plum's
in,
husband.
garbage out. First thing we learn.
We're in very rainy Shasta County, California. This is a
God, I wish it was
red
rainy.
Trump voting part of pretty blue state, and this county actually just voted recently to get rid of their Dominion voting machines.
The company at the center of all of this, Dominion Voting Systems, says there's a reason this happened. All the conspiracy theories about voting machines. The county voted to terminate the contract with the Dominion Voting Systems. Did you agree with that?
See, this is Rick Hutchinson. It's like, if I had any say in which one of these locals to slot in for this interview, I would not have picked that guy. He's crazy, I believe, but I would have picked someone even crazier to showcase on this level. I would have been like, hey, Miss Reporter Lady, that woman over there, her name's Lori Bridgeford. Go put her on a camera. Really show the world what lunacy exists here in Shasta County. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Why?
How am I supposed to trust any machine? They're constantly on the news saying Russia can hack our banks. Russia can hack our military. Why can't the only thing we don't talk about that can be hacked is the voting machines? Well, they can, and they were shown that they can be.
The decision to get rid of the Dominion contract was spearheaded by the chairman of the Shasta County Board of Supervisors, Patrick Jones.
I helped get rid of him. Very proud of that, and always will be. Patrick Jones lost in a fucking landslide. He sure did. That will always be a point of joy in my life.
I have questions about electronic voting machines. We're a small county, and I think we can return to Han County. We have a serious trust issue. You know there's a serious trust issue throughout the United States on electronic voting machines. It exists.
Some of Jones's suspicions are based on quotes from a Dominion employee that one of their machines in Michigan was hacked. It's a claim that Dominion says in court filings was mischaracterized and distorted by Fox News.
It sounds like this is your only sort of specific evidence that you have of Dominion.
I didn't say that.
Do you have other evidence of specific problems you have with Dominion systems?
I specifically brought this forward with Dominion because that is the contract that we had. That is the contract that we eliminated.
Because someone in the Trump administration told you to.
Present evidence, though, of
That's why.
Why you're making decisions like that?
No, we have to approve a voting system for the residents of Shasta County. That's my job. And we're going to approve the system. And I would ask those companies to show me and prove to me that their systems cannot be hacked. So far, no one says they have to do that. So I'm not interested in your system. If you're not going to prove to me that you have enough securities in place to not be...
See, the flaw in this stupid, absolutely stupid take that Patrick Jones has is he's saying, prove to me that something can't happen. Okay, that's not how logic works. All right, like take courts for example. You don't have to prove in court that something didn't you prove you try to prove, if you're defending someone in a court, you try to prove through facts and evidence that they didn't specifically do something. What Patrick doesn't have is any actual proof that something did happen. And so now he's trying to flip it and say that even though I don't have any proof whatsoever, any actual evidence that something did happen or is capable of happening, I'm now going to throw the ball back in your court and make you tell me and explain how it possibly, how it couldn't possibly happen. And that's a wrong take. That's not how you're supposed to look at things. That's not how you factually or logically evaluate something. Prove to me that a meteor isn't gonna just strike the planet, in the area where I live. Prove it. If you can't prove it, then it's gonna happen. That's stupid. That's absolutely stupid. And that's why Patrick Jones lost in a landslide. Because he's stupid.
Be hacked.
A spokesperson for Dominion told Vice News in response to the termination of the contract that, quote, "This is yet another example of how lies about Dominion have damaged our company." And for some Shasta residents, these lies seem to come from one place.
If you owned a Lamborghini, right, and then Fox News told you can't trust your Lamborghini, would you trade your Lamborghini for a clown car? Then why are you going to do that to our voting systems? Like, we have something good already. And the whole basis of we shouldn't even be discussing this right now. This is ridiculous. This is based off of disinformation from Fox News.
Dominion has sued Fox News
That was
and
me.
Fox Corporation.
I forgot I was in this
alleging
video.
They knowingly spread false information about the company's machines.
Thank
Dominion
you for the
says that by
roses,
airing
wife.
numerous false claims without pushback, Fox defamed them.
Our side does not believe your crap, which is why we're all here. You are making it so that our voting system is going to be worse. You don't switch from technology back to no technology.
The worry for Dominion is that Fox, along with others in the right-wing ecosystem like Rudy Giuliani and Mike Lindell, could help sow more seeds of doubt in their election machines, costing them more business. Dominion is concerned about its bottom line. And Kathy Darling Allen is worried about money too, specifically Shasta counties. Switching voting machines isn't cheap.
It's in the neighborhood of somewhere between $2 and $3 million. And that's a 10-year cost. So our goal is to have a contract in place.
God,
for
I
life
miss
of the
Kathy. She was so good.
Allen runs Shasta's elections. Before
They treated her
2020,
so
neither she
poorly.
nor the voting process in Shasta
They
County
literally
received
gave her
much
health
attention.
problems.
But then the conspiracy started.
Why do you think there are people in this county who do not trust these voting systems?
I don't think there's a person in our country who hasn't heard something about whether or not we can trust the way votes are counted. I think it is extremely troubling, but this is turning into an American problem, not a Democrat problem or a Republican problem. We have a very serious foundational trust issue with elections administration. And the really hard part for those of us who conduct elections is that we didn't break trust with the voters. We didn't break trust with the vendors or the candidates. Somebody decided to start lying, and those lies caught fire. We are now being asked.
A lot of
how can you
people
regain the
decided
trust
to
of the
start
voters?
lying.
Well, I didn't break trust with the voters, so it's a little bit disingenuous of a conversation.
There's a lawsuit right now. Dominion Voting Systems is suing Fox News for more than $1 billion. Do you see that as a turning point?
Didn't they get like $757
in this
million?
country around
Yeah.
elections and trusting elections that are administered on voting machines?
It almost is like a new religion. Folks who believe that the 2020 election was stolen, regardless of proof or evidence that's presented to them. When I ask questions, I mean, they have an answer for everything, but that answer is never concrete. And there is never actual evidence that's presented because there is no actual evidence.
Do you think that there are people in this community that saw some of what was said on that television channel and maybe don't want to vote on these machines right here because of that?
It's entirely possible. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
We're a very conservative county, majority Republican. We do this work because we want to serve our neighbors and we want to serve our community. And we believe fundamentally in the importance of the work. And to be told after doing that, and after we work really hard.
Oh, Kathy. She's like about to cry right here.
It's emotional for you to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not. I don't like to do this.
These people are evil. People that did what they did to
make things
Kathy
as
are absolutely
transparent as
evil. I can name them all
Allen's
right
office
now, but I don't want to
staged
get
an open
banned.
house after the board terminated the Dominion contract so that residents could see for themselves the options for the 3 state-certified voting machine systems, Dominion included.
Were you surprised that the county voted to terminate that Dominion voting contract?
No, not at all. Not this county. No, they've been doing very extremist positions for the last several months. I think we're the laughing stock of a good portion of the country.
Dominion Voting Systems right now is suing Fox News. What do you make of that lawsuit?
I hope they take Fox News down for passing misinformation, disinformation. They have stirred up so much angst and antipathy and sore spirits amongst Americans. I think that's partly why I am supporting Dominion, because it's just upsetting to see what Fox News has been doing along these lines, just spreading lies.
We asked Fox News about Shasta's decision to terminate their Dominion contract and what they made of the allegations that Fox was behind the misinformation spreading through the county. They didn't really answer that part, but told us that the Dominion lawsuit was essentially trying to silence the press and is, quote, an unprecedented assault on the First Amendment.
As you're watching the Fox News lawsuit
Mary
play
Rickert.
out, they're proving that they more or less encouraged a false narrative, even though they knew it was true, that there wasn't major fraud.
What's happening in Shasta isn't simply a liberal versus conservative issue. Mary Rickert, a long-standing county supervisor and herself a Republican, voted to keep the Dominion machines. Is this a waste of money to be getting new voting systems?
It's an absolute waste of money. This is a very
So Mary Rickert, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, local politician Shasta County's ever seen, supervisor of District 3 for a long time, Republican. All of our supervisors have always been Republican, pretty much. I don't even think we've ever had a Democrat supervisor in Shasta County. But they attacked her so hard for literally doing nothing. They just used so much disinformation, and when it came time for the election, they ran 2 lackey candidates against her to split the vote, and she beat both of them, but then it came down to a runoff election, and that was their whole plan. Like, they didn't care which one of their 2 that they ran against her won or lost. The one that won was then going to get all the votes from the one that lost. That's what they did. It was manipulating the election. It was all the stuff that they complain and say Democrats do, while these people literally gerrymander and redistrict and lie and cheat. Shasta County District 2 Supervisor Tim Garman, he had to basically give up his seat because the local extremists literally gerrymandered him out of his district. He's also Republican. These people are wild. They're just ridiculous. They just lie and cheat like it's their job. And I'm some of them it is their job, you know, like the GOP officials. But the citizens that support them, they themselves do it like it's their job. Which blows my mind, because so many of these locals I've seen spend so much time doing this and spend so much time talking about how, oh, minorities and liberals are leeching off the system and the government. Well, so many of you don't work. So where are you getting your money? I know a number of them that their main source of income comes from some form of government funding, and then they go out there and spend all their free time they now have to disparage minorities and, you know, talk about election fraud and blame things on Democrats and trans people, while they themselves are literally leeching off the government, like Lori Bridgeford and Richard Gallardo. Yeah.
foolish decision. And I pointed out to them at a meeting, we were all elected by Dominion voting machines. So are you questioning the outcome of your own election?
Mm-hmm.
And I never got an answer.
The misinformation around voting in Shasta County has left a town paranoid. Things have gotten personal, and people like Kathy Darling Allen are now the target of unfounded suspicions about how voting is handled.
Kathy Darling cannot be trusted, period. She constantly just shows retaliation. If anybody questions her, what she's doing, what's going on in the building, and, you know, she just does whatever she wants and starts doing things without even the board knowing.
She's changed her mind on a lot of things, I will say that.
Who are given correct information and who choose not to believe it. I spent a lot of time in 2021 saying into the microphone, If you're on social media and something you read makes you instantly angry, check yourself. That is your red flag that this is probably some kind of manipulative, maybe not completely accurate information.
I'm Michael Lerma, editor-in-chief. Trump and his people rage baited the whole nation. That's what they did. They demonized and made it seem made it become a reality that anyone on the left are all just evil and dangerous. And it's wild. It's so wild. Like, one of the biggest things to me is, like, in Shasta County, you still see this. I'm surprised. It blows my mind that these people haven't taken these stickers off their trucks yet. But there's a lot of, like, you'll see trucks around here that have like a sticker that's like, it says pew pew your local PDF file, right? And we all know what that means, people on the left, because what they did was they put out this messaging and this rhetoric that all Democrats are PDF files. And this all sparked from the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, the Epstein files and QAnon. All Democrats are PDF files. And so when they put something on their vehicle that says pew pew your local PDF file, what that means is unalive your local Democrat. That's what they meant by that. That's what that means when you see it. But the truth of the matter is, there's way more Republican white men are the majority, the vast majority of actual PDF files. And I can prove this with a website that I made. If you go to pdffpr.com, pdffpr.com, completely free website. There's not even any ads. You can't even sign up or comment. It's like a blog. It's informational. But I have the lists of Republican PDF files on that website. So if you go there, you can go to the home page, and there's a menu. If you're on a phone, there's a little button for the menu, a little drop down, but it says GOP PDF files, and you can click on all three of those. There's one main link and then two sublinks. So there's GOP PDF files, more GOP PDF files, and then even more PDF files. And so just about all of those people are Republican, and so, like, it just, a lot of the stuff just ties together. Like, the whole QAnon stuff about Trump releasing the Epstein files, which I think we know at this point he was never going to do. Even though he campaigned on it, even though he tried to push that all onto Democrats and, like, onto Bill Clinton or whatever. No, he's so involved in it. He's so involved in it. And a lot of people are just, like, his hardcore supporters are really at sort of this existential crisis point of their thinking, because I think a lot of them know that what other reason would he have to not release them fully that is actually justifiable other than him wanting to hide things that are in them. And then the other argument is, which I see, I think one of the first arguments that the right came up with, their little propagandists, their little Tim Pools and their Charlie Kirks, was, well, if Democrats were in control for 4 years under the Biden administration and they had the files, why didn't they release them? Because the files were under the jurisdiction of Florida. And the Attorney General of Florida during Biden's administration was none other than Pam Bondi. So she didn't allow Biden's administration to have the files. Why do you think Trump picked Pam Bondi? Why do you think Trump chose Kash Patel and Dan Bongino as his chief and deputy of the FBI? They were the two loudest right-wing QAnon influencers doing podcasts about the Epstein files. That was their main platform, their main subject of interest, the way they became famous or, gained notoriety. And so Trump just went, well, I'm going to put them in my administration and give them power and money so that they give up their fight of trying to get these files released, which they talked about so much. We're going to get these files. They're going to be released. We're going to have this information. We're going to expose all these Democrats. No, so Trump just brought them into the fold to shut them up about that. That's why he did that. Same reason why he chose Pam Bondi. Because she already protected him during the Biden administration from the Biden administration being able to release the Epstein files. Yep. That's what happened. Well, I think this was a good inaugural stream. I gotta do one tomorrow and then one the next day until I can jump in on my actual first stream where I go live on YouTube at the same time and actually attempt to get some people to join into the chat so that I can have conversations with, Republicans. So thank you guys for watching, whoever's still in here. Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you to my wife for promoting my channel and my stream. That's very nice. I'll be live again tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. Just follow me on TikTok. It'll give you a notification. You can go to my YouTube. It's my username on YouTube is Nathan the Creator. You can find me and subscribe there, and check out what I've got online there. I've got a Blue Sky account. It's Nathan Blaze on Blue Sky. I got that stupid meme photo of JD Vance as my profile picture on there. So I don't know what other platforms I have. I don't think I have any other ones right now until maybe I'll get my Reddit account back, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna go bye-bye. 4.5k likes this stream. That's not too bad for this channel size, I think. All right, bye.